So, today, on request from a viewer, we are going to look at the Blackview the Blackview BL8800 Pro. And mine is in this attractive green colour for reasons unknown. Well, I didn't actually get to pick the colour. It's just basically the viewer said, "Can we see a Blackview BL8800?" I said, "No, I don't have one." So, and then I contacted Blackview and said, "Any chance you could send me one of these?" And they said, "Yes, if you make a video, show off the phone, then you can use it for whatever you want after that in your comparison." Because later on, once my new phone arrives, the newest 2G arrives, we'll do a comparison of all of the thermal imaging instruments I have, all of the phones. But this one is one that's got a FLIR-based module inside it. And, well, that one, I presume. We've got your main cameras, and then there's like a main, a night vision, a macro, and that'll be your thermal imaging camera, that one. It's a nice ruggedized phone. It's not as thick as the giant 2G one with the massive battery in it. Again, sealed SIM card trays and flap at the bottom, which we're about to go into more details in a moment. So the flap on the bottom, this is the bit that's given me the most trouble. As no matter, I mean, I've got pretty strong fingernails. I cannot get this. Oh, it did it this time. Okay. Of course it did, on camera. Every other time I've done that, I've had to use a spudgery doodad thing to actually get my way into the charging port on the bottom. It is just a charging port, so there's no headphone socket. It does have a flap there you can put a lanyard or a lance on. Now, obviously, oh wow, I managed to press and hold the power button long enough to turn it off. That was handy. Idiot. Right. What we're here for, most people, is to see the thermal function of the phone. So we'll start with the thermalography, and then we'll come back to the other doodads of the phone later on. Right, but first, I've been taking Subaru inside wheel bearings out in the most horrible way possible with the Dremel and flattening them off and using weld and then welding a line of TIG down the middle of it to get it to contract, to get it out, because the bearing didn't want to be anymore. Right, I'm going to clear all this off and then we'll set up a hot thing to use the thermals on. Let us fire up the My FLIR app. Hopefully that screen recording itself doesn't show up in the thing. Right. Okie dokie. Now, is it that one? Right, so that's the MSX. So that is aligning how far away from the image your thing is. So depending on how near or far away from the object you are, is because obviously it merges the real light image and the infrared image and then kind of mushes them together. So we have here a glow plug that's currently not glowing at the moment. Let's give her some voltage. Let's make it at. So we'll see temperature climbing. That's 3. Let's give it some amps. That's like, let's give it 5 amps. 5 amps of glow plug power. And you can see it's getting pretty hot. Now, as we can see, the FLIR, let me put it in pure infrared mode. It's a pretty low resolution image. I think it's even worse when I put it in high temperature mode. Granted, it can see the high temperature better, but it's not very clear is the word I'm looking for. It's because these FLIR modules are a lot lower resolution than the infrared modules in the other manufacturers' phones. But it still works. I mean, granted, remember, this is in high temperature mode, so this is in up to 500 odd degrees it goes to, and we're at, well, nowhere near there. Don't know if you can see it on the real camera, but we're just starting to glow, so let's put the voltage up a bit more. Let's see if we can get it red hot. There's 10, 12, there we go. So there's orange hot, 6 amps. How hot's that? I can hear my Captain Tape burning. Well, it doesn't really burn. So it goes up to 400 degrees. So take that back down. Oh, by the way, this is a glow plug from a diesel engine. Take that back down there. It's 5 amps, so that is hot. Might need to take it down a lot more so we can use the low temperature mode, which has got higher resolution. That'll need to cool down a bit. That puts that back in there. Higher resolution, and it tells us it's over 120, which is fine, but we get to see the reflections and the other heat, so you can see the heat from the cable. Let me put. So that's there we go. That's the visible light, which it's shown as purple, which means it might be using. That's weird because they don't usually. Remember in the olden days, cameras they would see infrared as purple on screen. Weird. Anyway, right, and that's the merged image. So it's still too hot. We can see the base, and we can see the hot power cables leading up to my power supply. That's just a reflection of my heat on the screen. There's my hand. And being in the FLIR app, I have to say, credit where credit's due, the FLIR app is still better than everyone else's. It works nicer. Oh, there's the scale up the side. And where is all the colours? Obviously, you can change whatever. Oh, the 9. I think they must have realised that most people don't need every other iteration. The modes we're using to photo, video, YouTube Live, and time lapse. Wow, this is really aimed at. I suppose YouTube Live could it have a place in the industrial environment? Would you ever be YouTube Live into anybody else? Let's try taking a bit of a video then. While we're here, let's do video mode. And let's take a bit of a video. Now, this is where, sadly, the FLIR module lets itself down. It's limited to 12 Hz, and it's not Blackview's fault. This is because of the American government. They have a policy that they see the thermal imaging technology as possibly be used for military applications, so it gets severely limited in its abilities. Hence, we only get video at 12 Hz. I mean, it looks better on screen than it will do when I go edit it. I know this. That's 30 seconds of that. That's probably enough. We'll go back to 4. I mean, I'll take a still. Take a still of this. Still says over 100 I like the settings checkpoint, so you can save. Like if you're going to do a continuous. Let's just say you keep doing the same scene, but you don't do it all the time. You can save all your settings for a particular setup, and then when you go back to do the setup, you can, save your settings for later and then restore them. But again, it's just the software's just nicer to use. It's more polished, more refined. The software refined. It's just a shame that the module itself isn't as sensitive. Now, Blackview, the 8800 is an older model because, well, I'd never had a Blackview phone before, but I had noticed when I was on AliExpress getting the links for this phone, they've got an 8900, which is either just been released or is just about to be released, depending on when this video is. But I don't know if we'll get one to test, to try with the other phones. But it would be nice to have and be able to compare the 8800 to the 8900, because I don't know if it's got a different module yet. But this was a nice video. Hopefully this records on screen. In the FLIR app, when you're looking at videos, you scroll down to see the the visible light portion of the thing. I thought that was actually quite a good. It's actually a very nice feature, because sometimes people are like, what is it I'm looking at? And you're like, it's all become clear now. That is actually a very nice feature, and thumbs up to FLIR for doing that one. It's very clever. I like it. So that was the thermal imaging content. It absolutely is a fairly, not basic's not the word, low resolution, absolutely average FLIR module. And that's kind of what you want. So let's look at a bit more at the rest of the phone. The camera. It has this, please someone tell me in the comments, do all of the manufacturers just use this generic camera app? Because it looks exactly the same as the app that's in the 2G phones, and it seems to behave in entirely the same fashion. It takes absolutely okay pictures. My comparison is my Google Pixel 7 Pro, but that has the phenomenal processing power of the Google machine learning to process photos. So it's more software than hardware, whereas this is just your, I know it's got AI. Everything's got AI in it at the moment, and none of it's AI, but that's a story for a different day. Mods like Beauty is which it applies a screen filter, a flattening filter to anything that's skin coloured. Night vision is the infrared night vision, not thermal night vision. It just uses the, don't know if this has got an infrared emitter on it, but basically it sees infrared light and just gives you a black and white video or picture or whatever you're in. What is more? Portrait mode blurs the background. That mode there just basically uses all of the pixels at once rather than doing pixel binning to get you a smaller image. What was the other one? Pro modes just lets you change the ISO and the white balance and all those things. Most of the things us normal people never ever use, we just put it in point and shoot and take a picture. And hopefully I'll put this picture in the video and you'll be able to see it's a decent picture. Other things, what version of Android is this? This is Android 11. So you're on Android 11. Doke OS, I don't even know what Doke OS is. I just updated the firmware on this. It had an update today. Well, it was today for me. I don't know when it actually came out, but it was today for me. But things like, we've got 8 gig of RAM, 128 gigabytes of storage on board, an 8-core processor. It is an absolutely okay phone. It is. It's not slow. I haven't noticed it in any way, slowing down or anything. I've not had to use the speedy up boosty thing. I'm gonna have to say this. Why did you put all this bloatware in it though? And it's not even spyware bloatware. Look, it's a whole folder of games. Right, come on, shot. Look, games. Never played a game in my life. If I wanted games, I'll go and get them. Game mode. Why would you have game mode? This is supposed to be an industrial rugged phone with thermal imaging. I'm going to assume that the OSs just get bundled with everything at once. Woo, one-touch optimization, which usually ends up breaking software that's running in the background. Great, marvellous. One thing I have noticed that was missing from the Doogee phones, even in Android 11, is the ability to swipe up and get all of the apps. There's a gamer. Should have just gone around and uninstalled them all. That would have been better. But anyway, I did not. It's got lots of things. Oh, again, right. Sorry, I know this sounds like a negative thing, but it's not negative. It's just how they all seem to be. The side button on the phone, that side button, your custom user choosable side button. There's the option for it. Nope, not that one. Put it back in auto. Auxiliary function. No, not that one. There's a button. Where is it? Personalization? Nope. Come on now. I saw it before. Where is it? Gestures and keys. Yes, gestures and keys. Side key function. What I wanted to do is open up the FLIR app, which doesn't appear in this thing at all. You can't pick it to open the FLIR app. That would be the most used thing I would have, is to press the button and it automatically fires up the FLIR app. And you can't even pick the FLIR app from the list of apps. I mean, yes, you can use it to turn the flashlight on. But why? I don't need to. Oh, sorry, bit of a rant. But it was the same with the Doogee phones. You can't set this button to open some apps. It's really annoying because the apps I want to open are the ones I would use for the thing. I could put it off, save wasting my nice glow plug there. But yeah, the screen's nice. Again, it's the same as the other Doogee phone. The screen needs a screen protector because the bumpers don't come up to cover the edge of the screen. It needs something, so if you were to sit it, that's going to sit it down right on the glass. You need the screen protector on it. I know it's supposed to be Gorilla Glass as well, but oh well, the locking the screen made my recording stop. Okay, that's fine. Does have fingerprint sensor on the power button on the side. and it works most of the time, assuming your hands aren't dirty like mine. It will usually unlock. Usually. There we go. See? Unlock that time. And nice is it's not as easy to press the power button on this one. On the Doogie, it had a very, very sensitive power button, and I was forever locking it mid doing something. You pick it up and you'd accidentally lock it. I mean, it's still in a fairly easy to press. I would rather it was just ever so slightly harder to unlock. Too many attempts. Fingerprints. They're always for working. Right. Did it save my... That's fine. Screen recorder has recorded. We have the app. Have the phone. Yeah, and it could do with a cover because you're setting the phone down and you're setting it straight onto the cameras in the back. Would be better if it was recessed so you're not setting it down. But all in all, dual SIM phone, thermal imaging, good processor, nice screen, easy to use. FLIR app's nice. It's just a shame the FLIR hardware is restricted by the American government for military applications. That affects us badly, which is why the infrared stuff that's not made in America, that's not American owned, we can have really high frame rates and high resolutions and get all the best stuff. As I said, next time hopefully I will have my new phone and then I'll do a bank of thermal imaging phones and devices and we'll put them all up against each other and we'll do all that. If you have any comments, questions, anything like that, always leave them down below. I will try my very best to answer them. As always, thanks for watching.